All
And
right.
letting everyone in.
Beautiful. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this beautiful gathering of souls. So many familiar faces, some other new faces that I'm seeing. I have this in the mosaic view, so everybody's popping up. We welcome today to everyone. So beautiful to see you all. Linda, so glad to see you. Good morning. Got all our friends here, Luke. And you know what? We can, and now that I see Luke, our Marma guy, we probably should start with the Marmas. That way we can prepare our body and our emotions to receive messages. And Luke is the expert on that. If you want to take the lead for that, Luke, that would be awesome. If not, that's fine. I can do it.
Well, not an expert, and Carol's definitely up there with Marmas as well. Carol's an expert. So, any Marmas in particular?
Well, the ones that I like to use is like, for me, is the basic. And what happens is that right at the beginning, when I start with ancient secrets, I start learning about the Marmas, I start measuring the body reactions, the stress levels in the body, using different combinations. And I set up a combination that usually works very good in relaxing the body. And I don't know if everybody's aware of this. So I'm a practitioner. I do this for a living. I work with clients that have issues. And what I do is that I take a picture on my phone before we start the Marmas so they can see their eyes. And then I take a second picture after we do a round of Marmas so they can see the difference in their eyes, the relaxation levels that they achieve just by doing it one set. Because as a therapist, one of the things that I learned is that what is real for you is what you experience. It's not what someone else tells you, but what you experience yourself. And the sequence that I use is the forgive and forget, the head, the third eye, under the nose, the self-love. Sometimes I use the anxiety Marma. And that's pretty much it. Doing that sequence completely brings the body down. Completely.
Well, it sounds like you've got it down. I think you should just do it.
Well, I got it down, but you do it so beautifully and you explain everything so well that I would love to hear from you. But that's okay. I can do it myself. That's okay. That's okay. For me, what I discovered when I was measuring the body reactions is the breathing. The secret sauce is the breathing. Once I put those things together, it actually kind of like a locking the effect, and it's like it did it at a square level or turbo, the effects. So everybody here, do we have anybody new? Do we see anybody that is new that don't know the Marmas? If there's anybody that is new, can you raise your hand? So first of all, we can welcome you and explain you a little bit more in detail. Well, so you're gonna assume that everybody here knows the basics. So the basic is the forgive and forget, because the way that I explain it is we move from the past to the present and then to the future, right? And we can finish with what we want. And the breathing that I use to produce these results is taking a deep breath in until you completely fill up the lungs, but it's gonna be taking the least amount of air possible for you. It's just barely breathing in until you fill up the lungs. And once your lungs are filled up, you swallow the air. So it's like you eat a piece of food and you swallow it. So immediately comes to the stomach. And then we release very slowly as well. It's like basically, I usually make a noise. I tell my people, you don't have to make a noise, but it's just to make a point. It's like, like this, until you completely release all the air, and then you carry on, breathing very slowly, exhaling very slowly through all the marmas. So if you want to try that, you're welcome. If you want to do the way Dr. Giovanni do it, that's fine either. So we're going to start with the marmas. We're going to start with the forgive and forget, to let go everything that we've been carrying from last week, so we can start fresh this week. Luke do this beautiful. I usually forget to do this. The frames. He put a frame on top of the right eyebrow and left eyebrow. So don't know that part myself because I don't practice it.
A red frame over the left eye.
Over the left. Okay, and that's with the memories from the past. Okay. So we're going to put the red frame with the memories from this last week or anything that comes to mind that is still bugging you there. And we take a deep breath in. And we're going to start by pressing hard where it hurts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that we activate the past, we're going to calm down the mind by pressing the forehead, the back, and all the fingers together. And it's 1, 2, 3. Keep the breathing. 4, 5, 6. And then we move to the earlobes. Very hard. 1. When I was in India, I was impressed when they showed me how to press the marmas. It was very hard when actually you feel the pain. 5.
And Jacob, this one is for love, self-love.
Self-love. Yes. Thank you very much, Luke. And then we calm the mind. 1, 2. And also it's hard. 3, 4, 5, 6. Remember the breathing. And then we calm down the body. Anxiety. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the fingertips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I do the 7th point. I know you remember this, that you bring your hand down, you remove one finger exactly on the right hand, on the tendon that belongs to the ring finger. We press hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now that we are here and the body's calmed down, we're going to go with the what do you want point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then in the middle.
Jacob, you want to remind people to put a white frame over their right eye and put in there what they want. Okay, excellent. And then if you don't know exactly what you want, just use that frame as a screen so it can be projected to you. What is it that you truly want? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the next point is what you're gonna do, how you're gonna feel once you achieve, or when you know exactly what is it that you want. 3, 4, 5, 6. And what you're gonna do with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a great way to start your day. Marmas are very, very powerful. Dr. Clint usually shares how in places where
the herbs, or now that we have this change in providers, when people don't have access to herbs, with the home remedies and the marmas, you can create transformations, and that's what happens to our friend Afsane when her mother didn't give up on her. It was just marmas, just marmas, making sure that she was doing the marmas to bring her back. So marmas, very, very powerful. I am one of the guilty ones that sometimes forget to do it. But when I remember, I can feel the difference. And so it's a gift from Ancient Secrets to all of us. And let's use it and let's share it so we can be an example for other people. Today, we have announcements, as we usually do when we start our program. Enough people have joined, so I think that we can go with the announcements, Carol, so we can get that the housekeeping out of the way.
Okay. So we've had a lot of things happen. Like yesterday, there was a big event in Austin that maybe Dr. Clinton can talk about later. And we also had a big event last night for Gary Malkin in San Francisco, which I heard was a huge success. So those things have fallen off. And for announcements next week on Tuesday, I help host a call in Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, but we have a community that does. And we are on chapter 15 in the Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. And we even have the book in Portuguese, Brazilian, and the Portugal version. So if you're available, you can check our newsletter for a link to that, and also look at joining the Portuguese call. The other announcement is that watch for an upcoming event on our art time. We're going to be kind of expanding the view of that, and there'll be an announcement soon for our next art time. And I believe that that's it. We have Dr. Clint's going to be busy in Nepal. Has 2 different groups going here soon, and we have things coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the newsletter. And we've also announced in the newsletter, pencil in the date for our next group gathering. It's a family reunion. We're going to be in Wellspring, Ashland, Oregon again. And the dates are June 1st through 5th. So if you have to put in your vacation time, now's the time to get that in. We'll have a web link soon where you can register. And we're excited to think about being together once again, all as a family. So back to you, Jacob.
Thank you very much, and I truly thank Luke for his help during this beginning. Like I said, he's a master of this. He's been doing it for us in the group for many years now. So I appreciate all the guidance and help, and feel free to correct me at any time. Well, today's quote. When we have the privilege of joining this group and to be guiding the group, they ask us for a quote that is coming out of the book. And this is the quote that came to me. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. When the student is truly ready, the teacher disappears. And I was reflecting on this quote because traditionally I try to listen to the book. I will say, and I love the audiobook because Dr. Clint connects emotionally with everything that he is narrating, and he transfers that emotion into the listener. And but I understand that so many people love to read the book, and that's also awesome. But this for me is like listening to it when I'm driving, and I drive a lot because I'm in California, and here you need the car for everything, right? And so it keeps coming to my mind. And on the book, on the audiobook, this comes at the end when he starts sharing Dr. Naram pretty much is passing, right? And before he goes through that experience, he shares, he opens the chapter with this quote, which is very powerful, and we can apply it to many things. And Dr. Klim itself was going through this separation from Ayush Shakti, this new transition, stepping into a new experience. So one of the things that was resonating with me was that, right? That it was like, yeah, it's the Aditya Devo Bhava, right? It's a new event coming into your life because you're ready for it, right? And it feels threatening. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this all the time. You know, you need to trust in the unknown, right? You have to go and move forward into unknown territory, because that is a sign and that you are truly changing, that you are truly doing something different. When you step into uncomfortable events, situations, and they're uncomfortable because you never have them before. There's no reference in our brain that let us know that this happened to us before, and we know how to navigate these waters. It's a completely new event, and we feel threatened. He was sharing with us, because he's very open, Dr. Clint is very open, and he was completely heart open, sharing with us everything that he was going through. And the people that are practitioners have the opportunity of having one-on-one with him in a group setting, you know, but we were getting answers and stuff, explaining us about these changes. And but also, as a client, as a practitioner, sometimes I deal with situations that we cannot handle. And by the way, my name is Jacob. I'm so sorry. And I have Carmen here next to me, always next to me, helping me with everything. And so I apologize for not doing the proper introductions before. Carmen and I work together. We not only share our life, but we also share the work side of things. And many times people come to us when it's either too late. So in the case of cancers, they're too advanced, or they just give up already, right? And the family is the one pushing them to us, and we try to help them. And one of the situations that we experienced, it was that we go through recommendations. We ask them to do certain things. We ask them to avoid certain other things, to change the way that they're eating, the way that they're feeding the mind and stuff. And people just don't do it, you know. Or for example, I'm very big on working on the emotional side of things, not just the physical side of things, but the emotional connection to the side of things. And the emotions start even when out of the blue, you know, you went for a checkup with the doctor, and the doctor give you a diagnosis that based on averages from many people, and they don't even know in which side of the average you're gonna fall, right? But they slam you with this horrible news, right? And then you become afraid of it. And this is something that we need to heal. And I work with a lot of stuff, you know, a lot of very, very deep emotional thing. So I ask them, usually I ask to my clients to come like twice a week, you know, to work on the emotional stuff. And the way that I know that an emotional event, it's transcended, that you already transcend that event, is because you can talk about the event without having an emotional trigger, right? It don't trigger tears, or it's barely a memory on your mind, right? It's not very, very present here, real for you. It's something that you live and experience before, and you can talk about it without any emotional charge, without any uncomfortable feeling. And usually it takes time, but also it takes a little bit of guidance to get to that point. So for me, this quote, I try to use it and apply it also now for my clients, right? Because I see sickness as a teacher. I see sickness as an opportunity that life brings you to create transformation in your life. either in the way that you think, in the way that you interact with others, but also in the way that you feed yourself, your mind and your body. And going through this experience for the last 3, almost 4 years now, I mean, there's no doubt, right? Diet makes the difference, right? The energy of the food that you put inside of your body makes the difference. We have these recommendations, these diets, this moonbeam recipe, these other resources, but when the clients are not willing to take it, then what happens is that for me is they're not ready, right? They're not ready for the teacher to disappear. And I don't need to carry the heaviness of the responsibility that they are not ready, because I am not God, right? I don't know if this sickness is the instrument that they are using to move to another vibration, to transcend the body, to let go of everything and then come back on a different form and try it again. And these are one of the things that I learned through experience, because at the beginning, when I remember many years ago when I was starting, I was like pushing and forcing healing into the people. And to be honest, it's not our job, right? It's not our job to change and transform our children if they're not ready for it, right? Because like I said, life is our teacher, and the events that we experience are like the help of the teacher that is coming to teach us a lesson. And we're not ready to transcend that lesson. We're not ready to let go of that teacher. It's gonna keep bumping into our life and keep showing up and keep showing up and keep showing up. So that's how I'm using this phrase today. And I would like to open up the mic for people that want to share transformations that they're going through, where the events that happened in their life was something that triggered a transformation. We hear many times from the regulars of the group, and but in my case, I would like to share something that is very recent. I had a very young client. It was a female in early 30s. I think she was 30 years old with a very advanced cancer. And the first time that she came to me, I wanted to work with her. I wanted to give her a plan. I actually sent her a plan. And then she completely went away. And 8 months later, she showed up. And it was horrible. It was, the metastasis was all over the body, and it was very difficult. But even though we have that experience, we did our best, right? And we tried again, and we gave her new protocols and new things and new tools, because I not only use the Sida Veda tools, I use other tools that I've been working with for years. And the same thing happens, no answers to the text, no follow-ups and stuff, and to the point that eventually I don't hear anything from them. And I don't know what happened to her, but I can understand that if I don't have any communication with the family or with her, I can only assume that she left her body, right? So, but it was like disappointing, right? It was this feeling of, Jesus, this teacher really made me feel empty and powerless, right? And but like I said, it wasn't my responsibility, and I have to go into meditation, and I have to focus on the people that I was able to help, just because they were willing to go through the process and follow the recommendations and trust the events. That is my most recent event. Do we have anybody that wants to share something?
We do have a question from Rick, I believe it is. What is your profession, Jacob?
The way that I describe myself is a mechanic of the body, right? Because when you go to the mechanic, you only tell to the mechanic what you understand, right? The car is making this noise and it sounds like clack, 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 and it's here's in the front. And so my job is to have as many modalities as possible inside of me. And I would love to say that I have like a menu for my client. So the way that I work with the people is that I connect with them and I let the energy of the person to pick up out of the menu what we're gonna do. So the way that we do this is that I use modern science. I use equipment to measure the body. I have different equipments. I have spectrometers. I have a meridian that works on the electrical side of the body. I have I do the pulse reading too. I check the tongue. I have the BioWell, the one that measures the energy and the stress levels. So I have different tools that help me to present in writing to the clients what we have. And then it's not only me, I have a team. And on my team, I have a doctor that do IV therapy. We do ozone, we do the traditional vitamin C, vitamin Bs, and all that kind of thing. And also my main equipment is a tiny equipment that helps you to work on the electrical side of things. So where there's scars, we need to restore the free flow of energy inside of the body. And then, like I said, we work on the emotions. And for the emotions, I do a little bit of constellations, a little bit of past life regressions, a little bit of hypnosis, a little bit of whatever it is that is needed, right? To be able to help and do a comprehensive transformation on the person. Everything starts for me probably 30 years ago when I start meditating very deeply. And I come from a family that are different, right? We are like energetically awake, right? We tend to see energies. I can see the colors. I cannot see the specific layers that are mapped in many modalities. Like this is the first layer, this is the second layer, this is the third layer. And I don't know, I think that people that talk about 9 different layers of energy. I cannot see that much. I only see the basic colors. But the colors change with the true feelings that the person has. So I can be in front of someone and the people can be laughing, making jokes, but I can see the energy and I can see concern and I can see pain and I can see that kind of thing. But when I start working with people, it was too weird to talk about, oh, you have this hole of energy in your liver, let's work it. It was too weird. So that's why I went into learning all these different modalities, and I start calling it hypnosis, and then I start calling it energy medicine, and then I start using equipment to narrow down the things that I was seeing, and that's how I start with all this. And then I will say like 10 years ago, probably somewhere around 10 years ago, I noticed the difference when I was using equipment that when I was using my own resources. When I was using my own resources, I end up very tired. And when I was using equipment, I was not tired at all, right? So it was like, okay, this is the way to go if I want to continue with this. Because of what I do and the environment that I was making a living of, I get to meet a lot of people that were also very gifted with energies, and they were all dying very young, like 40, 50 years old. They were checking out, and I was afraid of that happening to me. And that's why I stopped using more of my energy and I started using more of these other things. And that's also how I come up with Ancient Secrets, because I saw Dr. Noram checking the pulse, not in live, but in video, and telling to the person exactly what they needed. And it was like, whoa, I need to learn this. I need to be able to connect everything together. So,
so a short answer would be you're doing work as a Vaidya plus another menu of options available. We do have somebody else's hand up. Susan had raised her hand.
It's just fascinating, Jacob, to hear how you work and the tools that you use. So I've really enjoyed that. Thank you. There were two things I had wanted to comment on. One was the issue of responsibility for your people in your lives, your clients, whoever you're working with. And I wanted to just say that for me personally, I was raised as a little girl with an incredible sense of responsibility for the well-being of the people in my family. And I think probably many of us were raised with that sense of responsibility. And it was a distorted sense of responsibility because there's no way that I was responsible for another person's well-being or happiness. Everybody's responsible for their own well-being and happiness, wasn't a thought. And so for me, I had a long career as a psychologist, and I think that that was the primary source of pain in my practice, that I had so many skills, so much talent, but that sense of responsibility that I felt in my heart was just pretty profound. And it was from a distorted belief, I know that, but it still never went away. And now that I've retired and I'm not really practicing anymore, I'm lighter. It feels better. So I just wanted to name that. And then I also love I wanted to just make a comment. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And when the student's really ready, the teacher will disappear. And for many years, I had very profound teachers. I will say that. Very, very profound, very challenging, kind of Zen mastery kind of teachers. And it reached a crescendo where I woke up and realized that what I was going through and the ways that I was going through really wasn't love. It was something else. And let all the teachers go. I let all the teachers go. And was that a moment of liberation? Just the quiet that came and the peace that came and the connection to my own spirit, my own soul, and what really mattered to me came. And it was a wonderful experience to say, done with putting somebody else on my altar, some other human on my altar. So I wanted to share those two things because they came up for me strongly as you were talking. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And I was very blessed that I started the opposite way. I was able to go in and find my connection with spirit within, and like I said, gosh, knowing people and seeing what the things that they go through in their lives is profound, and it's a sense of inner peace that I probably did something good in other lives because I haven't had those very challenging experiences in my lifetime. I was lucky to be able to, at a young age, find my answers inside of me. And that helped me through all my life. Even Carmen, when we have she called it a calibration. When we're calibrating, she don't like that. I usually tell her, you know what, let's stop and let me go within, because my answers are within, my lessons are within. This is so natural and familiar for me to go within to find everything.
So we have two more things coming up. So one is we have a question on hearing, a marma for hearing. I actually know a mudra for hearing. See if I can change the view here. My Kitty has messed with my mouse. So I don't know if you can see me, or if you can, maybe Cornelia or Robin can put that up. Yeah, so it's a mudra for Akash. So when we have the too much ether in our dosha balance, this is a vata thing, then this is to help reduce the amount of ether, which affects our hearing, the brain. It causes migraine. So this is the mudra on both hands, and the breath is 6 short in and out, like 6 times. So this is the one for hearing, and maybe somebody else knows another one, but that's the one that I had in my notes. And then the next thing we had is Robin has her hand up.
Yes, and the marma for hearing is just going through the ear. You actually find where it hurts. You know, you press the point, and like I said, in India, they hold your head and then they press. That hard it is. That hard it is. 6 times. And remember, the breathing is one point here, then there's another point here on the top, another point here, another point here, and all the points pretty much hurt. And then the bottom one. These two are very close to each other. You have like the jaw bone, and it's one side and then the other. It's 6 times, and you have to do it, even though the problem is in one ear, you have to do it on both so you can balance. And we didn't do the medical disclaimer, so what I'm gonna say it for you basically. So what we are sharing with you is on your own responsibility if you will decide to follow the recommendations, right? They help for many people, and we really think that it's gonna help you, but it's up to you to try it. We recommend that you can contact Dr. Benet, have an appointment with the Vaidya or with him. They can go over the specifics, because like Carol just mentioned, it's a vata problem. So we also need to bring the vata down, right? You cannot only do the marmas. It will help, definitely will help. But the challenge is that you are probably having on your diet or on your lifestyle something that is triggering this imbalance. And unless we remove it, it's like a fight, right? You're doing something for it, but you're doing something against it. And it's just going to balance out, but it's not going to go away, right? So we want to take care of that. Traditionally, for people, just in general, they have a lot of vata. There is almost everyone. A teaspoon of castor oil at night with your detox tea before you go into bed, it will do wonders for you. Wonders, you know. And there's also capsules, but like I said, now that we're changing suppliers, I don't know how. It's still, you know, I'm very new with the new formulations. But with Ayushakti, I used to use, and I still use in Vata Detox capsules. That's how they call. If you don't like the taste of the oil, which is the same, you know. And Triphala, also you can get Triphala almost everywhere. Triphala helps you to scrape all the toxins out of the body. So you can take one night the Baka oil, the other night the Triphala. Go one and one, and you will see the difference, you know. And on the 100 days miracle challenge, one of the things that we start doing is waking up and taking a glass of hot water or warm water, as hot as you can, in the morning when you first wake up. That it helps you to move everything out of your system. My suggestion is use detox tea instead. You know, not just the warm water. Just do a detox tea, and that will also help you, because detox tea helps you with the liver, helps you with the blood, helps you with the acne, the digestive fire, and many of the problems start there. So those are general suggestions.
So there's also the Banyan has a ear oil, and they also have the nasal oil, which helps with the eustachian tube.
Yeah.
Those are both really good products that I've used.
Yes. I think Dr. Klein shared with us this before, and like I said, try it before you commit to it. Try it and see how your body reacts, right? Understanding that health or transformation into health is not on a straight line up, right? It usually is like go down and then go up, right? You have a healing reaction. It gets bad before it gets better, right? So just be mindful of that. And the recipe for that is, I think it's 3 threads of saffron, a pinch of nutmeg, mixed with ghee. How much ghee? I will say like 3 tablespoons of ghee. Mix everything together until it dissolves, and just put the drops on each nostril. Before you go into bed, just put it on, and will allow you to lubricate not only all the mechanisms that are inside of your head, but Dr. Ronak told me that also helps in your pineal gland. And the pineal gland is very important for hormones, but for many things inside of the body. So it helps with that lubrication. So that's what we have. Any other question?
Yeah, Robin has her hand up.
Yes, Jacob, I want to thank you for this. It has been such a cool discussion for you to hear your perspective on with the quote. And I think it is super valuable to understand that each person, like, we have our own journey and our own time to be learning things. And because, like all of us practitioners and most of the people on this call, we have so much love for everybody. We want what's best for each person. And the thing is, we don't know, is it best for that person to be staying or the person to be leaving? And so we always assume it's going to be best to heal the person. But our journey and the timing and stuff like that, it does make a difference. And so I really appreciate your perspective on treating the illness like a teacher, that we all are having the opportunity. And I know that certainly is what set me on and my mom on our healing and spiritual path, is when my mom became chemically sensitive, and being able to see, even like when she left in the summer of 2019. And, I think a lot about was that it was actually perfect timing for my mom to pass. And when Dr. Naram passed, not only was it, Dr. Clint's time to be able to fly and bring us all into a community, for my mom's passing, I recognized that she would have been totally traumatized by all of the hundreds of thousands of animals dying in the Australian fires. And then she would have been scared to let my dad out of the house when COVID hit, because her immune system was so compromised. And, but as a result, my dad has kept his whole social network, which is huge because of being in the time bank. And I'm getting to know my dad more, who doesn't speak a lot. So, it's being an opportunity for me to actually have a phase of getting to know my dad that I might not have had otherwise. And so I really recognize that when we consider that everything is in divine right timing for us and the people we work with, then it really adds a great relief and also an additional perspective with which we can talk to people. So thank you.
My pleasure. And you know what, Robin, in NLP, one of the things that we learned when I was going certified through that is that words are really what influence your subconscious mind, right? The way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we communicate with everything. And when you are able to see sickness as a teacher, that reframing completely shifts. Is you stop fighting and start learning. And that is very, very important for your healing process, right? Because one of the things that we learn in Siddha Veda is that your body is never working against you, right? Your body is just reacting to circumstances, either emotional circumstances, like in the book, Dr. Klein mentions that Dr. Naram told him that 95% of all the problems, I think it's 95% or 90% of all the illnesses come from an emotional root, right? An emotional issue that we have there. And so it's just something that we have to embrace instead of fight, right? Because your body is catching your attention in a way that is going to help you, like I said, to search for answers, right? So that's why I think it's important. But let's see if we have any other person who wants to talk.
Yeah, so Cornelia has her hand up, and I just want to say it's also a great recognition when those things come from our body, a pain, a flu or whatever, to say it's an Aditi Deva Bhava. It could be a gift from the god or the goddess come to show you something new and different. And so to recognize it and not resist is also very, very much in our Siddha Veda training. Cornelia?
Yeah, I just wanted to speak to what you just mentioned, Jacob, about seeing sickness as a teacher. And I had no idea when I had this accident in 1990 and being in pain for so long and having countless different modalities being done on me, that while I was going through that, I was actually learning about my body in a way that I couldn't even understand at that point. That because I was paying attention to whatever the practitioner did on me, what was the reaction in my body? And I could pretty quickly tell what was going to work and what wasn't going to work. And at that time, I was more observing, but I had no idea how that teaching, in a sense, prepared me for my later life, that I was actually using it when I finally got rid of the pain and I became a body awareness teacher, how that actually brought back all these memories of what works and what doesn't work. And for me, it shaped me and my teaching, because I could see in other people, because of my own experience, what was going on in their body. And I had no idea that sickness and such a long suffering in the end was actually such a blessing in my life. And so there are different ways of teachers coming into our life and disappearing. And the other thing I wanted to say, in my case, it wasn't really that the teachers disappeared, but in a sense, I outgrew them. They were there for me for a certain time, and I was very dedicated to learn what I needed to learn. But then I realized that's what I needed to learn from them. It's time to move on. And then somebody else showed up. And that was really, I can say, in my life, a very pronounced happening all the time. So I would kind of follow someone for a few years, and then they would just kind of disappear, but somebody else would take their place in a way. And that is how I learned. But I was never, as Susan mentioned, a kind of really attached to them. It was more, okay, I need to learn something from you. And once I have it, I move on. And so outgrowing my teacher, that is probably the word I would use for that.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Yes. We have to outgrow our teachers. We have to take it. My belief is that life is like a pyramid, but not like the Giza's pyramids, right? But the other, the Latin American, the ones that goes like this, right? It's like you're going through the stairs. You're going through the stairs through different levels, and little by little you move up until you reach the top, what we call in the Indian tradition, samadhi, right? The illumination of being on top and seeing it from above as an observer, everything. Just observing everything. I would like to give the mic to Carmen, because she's been very quiet and she loves to talk. So
I love to talk when I have something to say, but if I don't have anything to say, I just let you flow with whatever you have to say. At the end of the day, I think you guys have the same thing in common, which is Ayurveda, and your teacher, your master, your healers, Dr. Naram, and how Dr. Klein also has been a great teacher to you all from all of the experiences that he achieved during the time that they had together. So I have to honor that relationship, and I'm just here as an observer and somebody who listens.
Something that you guys probably don't know, and I don't know if there's people that believe in this and there's people that don't believe in this, but we are both channels. That's how we met, and Carmen channels an energy that is very, very powerful, very, very powerful. It's an ancient Egyptian priestess. And measuring, I was able to measure water. And with the mudras that she does when she's going through this event, she can actually change the pH of the water, just out of mudras and out of the things that she mentioned, the prayers that she's mentioned, which for me was mind-blowing, because one of the type of people that came to me through all my life was people that were receiving energies and didn't know how to control it, and so I teach them, a little bit about that world, so they're not afraid and they can carry on with that, and that's how we met, and I was in awe when I saw that, it is incredible. It's incredible. So she's very humble. She don't likes to brag about her capabilities, but she is actually the person that I call every time that I am stuck with a situation with a client that I cannot move emotions. So they're stuck and they're right there, and they are not, they want to let go, but they are afraid of letting go. That type of situation, and I just call her up and she helps me out, and boom, we end up everybody in tears, just going through the processes. Do we have anybody else raising the hand, because I cannot see on the screen?
No, I don't see any other hands. There's a few comments it looks like are being answered. Cornelius responding to some things there. I do want to say, I know that Rick, who's here, has been going through some health issues. I know Rodell, who's from the Philippines, has lost his apartment complex. His home village has been flooded. I know that there are people here who are in pain and suffering. There's people who are grieving recent losses. So can we take a minute to send some of that beautiful energy that Carmen manifests, that you have within you, that so many of our people here put our hands together and say, this is for those who are in need, with love and light. So your words, Jacob?
Yes, and this is very important. Everything that is energy, everything that is alive, go through a process, right? Is the birth, then it grows, then it reproduces, and they start coming down, and then eventually go away, right? One of the things that we usually, everybody tells us, you just have to sit with the emotion, but we don't understand how to sit with the emotion. When you're having emotion, or even when you're having physical pain, the way that you can help that to move out of your own system is to let it exist. Don't fight it, just close your eyes while we are giving you this beautiful blast of energy from all over the world, and just look which part of your body you feel that, and just look at it, just feel it, and just breathe it in and out, breathe it in and out. Don't fight it, just let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be with your breaths. And the deeper that you breathe and the more slower that you breathe, the easier it's gonna be for that energy to go through its own cycle. So it eventually can leave your body. We love you. We all love you, and we are with you. Excellent.
Cornelia?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
Let
I
me
just
say
would like.
very quick, Cornelia, for Robin, if someone here speaks Spanish and they want to be on the breakout room with me, just let us know so they can put us together and we can carry on with this. Go ahead. Sorry.
That's perfect. Thank you, Jacob. That's a great idea. What I wanted to say is what you were just kind of referring to, of the energy of our own words. And we are not aware, most of us are not aware how powerful our own words are when they are directed to our body. And I can share a quick story that I had. Many years ago, I was suffering from excruciating back pain. And I had to walk to a place because I didn't have a car. And I was actually guided to kind of talk to my body. And with every single step I took, I focused on that area in my lower back and just that one word with every step. And that was relax, relax, relax. And it was like a mantra to my body. And at some point, I realized that the pain was totally gone. So it wasn't something that kind of consciously happened. Suddenly, when I was walking, the pain is gone. And I have done that a lot of times since then, using my own words to talk to my body when I'm in pain, to kind of focus on the area and command my body to relax. And the pain disappears because we have the power to do that. And that is energy that we are using, and it's our own voice. We can command our body. And I guess we are not aware that we do have that power. And so that's what I wanted to share, because yeah, from my own experience, I know it works. And I see so many people, when they actually try it, it works.
That's wonderful. Yes, I mean, you have this Matsumo Emoto, right? He was just putting words into water and then freezing it and watching it over the microscope and seeing the difference that words create in the water. And we are full of water ourselves, and we drink water all the time. So we send this high vibration energy out. That high vibration energy comes in. It has to be. I mean, it's been proven. So definitely, that's wonderful. Thank you for bringing it into.
I wanted to say one more thing. I had said this earlier in a different meeting, that a quote from Mindy Barrett says, "I'm not okay, and that's okay." This is after she lost everything that she had in a fire. And I think sometimes we are hard on ourselves when we're not okay. We have grief, we had sadness, we're ill. I had a day like that yesterday. I was sad, and I said, it's okay for me to be sad. I have a lot of things. And my release and let go was not of the sadness. It was of the judgment about that. And to go into the body and say, where is this sadness sitting? Oh, it's in my lower back. It's in my chest wall. It's okay not to be okay. We can recognize that and thank our bodies for the awareness. Oh, thank you for bringing it to my attention that I'm holding on to this. Because if we don't let the sadness go, we have depression. If we don't let the anxiety go, then we're into mania. Or if we don't let everything accumulates when we don't address it. So powerful message. It's okay not to be okay. Acknowledge it in your body, release it, as you said, Jacob, let it take its own path, its own metamorphosis, and not to be hard on ourselves when we're not okay.
Good, awesome. Thank you very much for that. Very good. So any more questions? Because we are exactly on the hour. Oh my God. I've never been so sharp in my life. That is divine guidance.
So if you want to go ahead and close us out, rubbing our hands together with the I love you, I'm with you, and then we can go into the breakout rooms. This has been amazing, Jacob. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. Love you.
I love you and I'm with you. Everyone unmute, say I'm love you and I'm with you.
Love you, and I'm with you.
Love you,
And I am with you.
Thank
you,
Carmen.
Love you, and I am with you.
I love you, and I'm with
Love
you.
you,
I love you and I'm with you.
I love you, and I'm with you.
love you, and I am with you.
I love you, and I'm with you.
I love you, and I'm with
I
you.
love you, and I'm with you. I love you, and I'm with you. I love you, and I'm with you.
All right, opening the
you,
breakout
Lynn.
rooms. Thank you, everyone.